Please, in this video I will show you a guide to how to farm Ash Forest. So as you know, recently they buffed Ash Forest like Crypt, Olun, Underground Gyfin. So now we can make more Deborah's necklace and also more money by farming Ash Forest. So I will show you all you need to do to farm Ash Forest effectively. So first off, let's start with the gear. So as you can see, that's my gear, but Ash Forest is a much lower spot than Crypt, so you don't need as much gear to farm there. But the most important part that you need to have is 100% in knockdown and bound resistance. Because Ash Forest, the only like CC they do is knockdown and bound. And that's really easy to cap compared to like stun and stiffness, because we have a crystal that is pretty OP, which is called the adamantine crystal. So let's see the crystal setup. And those are the adamantine, RBF adamantine. You need the red essence and like the ancient magic crystal of nature to craft them, and you will be really good to farm there. You just need that for the resistances. For the other crystals, personally, I use the Macaloids so I can do more damage. But if you struggle in surviving, you can also farm like you can also get the Hooms, which gives more survivability. For the other crystal, the Corrupted Magic Crystal, because critical hit damage is better than like the back attack from the corrupted crystals, which are here those ones at Ash Forest at least. And I'll also use the Rebellious because more AP is always good, and more attack speed, more monster damage. I just use one Viper. If you struggle in accuracy, like if you see miss like on the screen, just try to use more Vipers. You can like replace the Rebellious or the Acrads, but I use one Viper. And like the opposite to Crypt, you cannot CC the mobs. So using Elcars, which gives only 12 accuracy on console, um, because it will give like in your all resistances is pretty much useless because you don't like CC the mobs, so you're better off using Vipers than Elcars. And the brutal decimation back attack is always good as monster damage. So that's pretty much like the offensive setup that I use because I farm so much at Crypt. Then I know how to survive. But if you trouble to survive, you can always like use other crystals like Hooms or Crystal of Frozen Bitterness. It just depends on you. No. And also for the gear, you can say that I use the Exalted Resplendent Alchemy Stone because I don't use the Vel's Heart. It's really similar in power, but it's like a difference of like 3 AP compared to 1% attack speed and 2 accuracy. And like theoretically, it's better to use the Resplendent, but if you have a Sharp, which is the case for most people, it is basically better to use a Vel's Heart for most cases. If you trouble to survive, you can always use the Peria Star. It's a good survivability tool, but that's pretty much it. And now for the potions. Compared to Crypt, I don't use a full Elixir rotation. I just use a Frenzy Drought because I'm able to survive. It gives like monster damage for like a reduced cost, so I don't spend that much in trying to use a lot of elixirs. But if you just started to grind there, like I farmed a long time with elixirs, like the full rotation plus AP, back attack, uh, hit points, recovery, hit points recovery, accuracy if you need. You don't need down attack. Kamal Sylvian is pretty important. Try to craft those because it's a big damage boost, but it's quite expensive, I think. You can use defense nullifying, but I got told that it's not really useful in PvE because especially at Ash Forest they have a large pool of health, so or Crypt or Olin, then 10 damage, then 2 damage doesn't really make a difference, but in PvP that's pretty good because 10 damage when someone has only 5,000 or 8,000 hit points stacks up pretty high. And the rest, the damage reduction if you need, evasion if you are evasion, damage received from monsters so you can survive longer. You don't really need air, you don't need air attack. Critical hit if you need, and critical hit damage is pretty important. And for the perfume I don't use, but you can use the Calc Elixir if you struggle in damage reduction section. You can use that, or you can use perfume perfume of courage if you really want to hit hard the mobs, or if you just want to. So that's pretty much my potions. So now the add-ons that I use is pretty much the same as script. I like that's Guardian, but the idea stays the same. You want monster damage, you want attack speed plus 10%, you want to debuff enemies with your big AoE circles, and you don't really need to debuff the evasion, but I just have like 3 setups that I don't want to switch all the time, so I just use the crypt setup for everything because I have a cap PvP and uncapped PvP. So I just use that. Back attack, important. Critical hit damage also. Movement speed, it's like optional. If you have a good class that has a lot of movement speed, you don't need that much. And minus DP, so you can hit harder, critical hit damage. Like, it's pretty standard. That's the Guardian add-ons, but you can use the same idea for all the classes. Okay, so now we will start. I think I explained everything. Now I will just show you the rotation and the little tricks and tips on how to farm well here. But I just want to make sure. I think earlier I saw a white dot. Yeah, someone is here, so I will just try to find a server and I will be back. Okay, so now we found our server. So let's buff ourselves. So the first thing I do, let's just pop the tier like level 2 loot scroll, check the pets, put them in agile, and also you want to make sure that your node is level 20. Like it's just a 10% drop rate, but it's like it stacks. So use that. Like right now I have 190%, so I will just use a 50 million because I don't have any loot scroll. And I will also use those things, GM Blessing. Yeah, I will just use those. It's like 1 hour. And I will pop my drought last. So let's start. The thing you want to do at Ash, basically, I'm at this rotation, like here. It's basically the Marnie realm rotation, the main rotation, so it's there. So the thing you want to do is, you see the Rift Seed to my right? Oh, I hit harder. You want to hit those because it aggro all the mobs around it. And oh yeah, it's much easier now. It's the first hour I do since they changed the AP cap, so it's really easy, I guess. So you want to hit the rift. So all the mobs are getting activated around it, and the Volcals, the Volcaras, those with like a big weapon in their hand, are going to be aggroed to you. And also the Barnas, which are the range dudes that throw energy ball to you, they will also be aggroed. And so just go from seed to seed, hit the seed, you see all the things will activated around, they will go to you, you do your big AoE, you try to put them in a circle, and that's pretty much it. And just a thing that you can like know is if you hit the Barnes, all the mobs around it will aggro. I will show you in the next like rotation. I will not hit the seed, I will just hit the Barnes. So I just hit it, So all the mobs around are getting aggroed, and those are the Volcas. You want to aggro the Volcas because they give higher trash loot and such, so you want to kill as much as you can. The little guys, the Garas, are just there to fill up the other mobs that, like the mob limit that you can hit. So, but you really want to hit the Volcas and the Barnes. They have a higher hit points, so you want to hit them so they can die the first. Yeah, I'm really surprised how easy it is now. Like before, I was taking like a couple rotation, might be like one complete rotation to kill them. Now it's like half a rotation and they just melt. It's really surprising. And a thing that I didn't explain in the last video is Ash Forest can drop the Ring Merchant piece if you are interested in farming that. So that's really a really like rare treasure that you farm. And basically at Ash, the only mob that can drop it are the Volcas, the one that with the weapon in their hands. So when I was farming there, uh, I wanted the rich merchant piece, so I was just trying to kill only Volcas, like of course the other mobs too for the Debo neck, but mainly the Volcas. So yeah, Ash Forest now is much easier than before. Like they buffed a bunch of stuff on our characters. They just gives us more AP cap. So now like it's really accessible for a lot of people to farm here. And it's like a Debo neck spot. So it's basically the best accessory in the game that you can farm. And it's also a really good money making. Because like Crypt, you can just farm Debo and neck. I don't know like how many per hour on average you get here, but let's assume it's like 1 every 2 hours-ish. You can just craft it and maybe sell it to Tet. It's 99 billion. But the thing is, since like it looks so much easier now, a lot of people will try to do the same. And I think the Debo Tet price will drop first compared to like the belt or the earring. But it's really accessible now. Like compared to Crypt, it's not a lot of to explain. You just hit the Rift Seed, mobs are getting aggro to you, and that's it. And the Barnas are coming, so you just kill them also. So yeah, I will just continue to do that for an hour, and I will get back to you with what I dropped and the trash loot I did. It's just my first hour, so since the changes, but you will have a little idea on what you can get at Ash Forest. So see you later. So, hello again. I just finished my first hour at the Ash Forest since the new buffs in the trash loot and the Boraka drop rate. So basically, I dropped around 13.5 K trash loot. I don't know if it's good, if it's on average, but it's probably lower than PC because their PC has a lot of other stuff that we don't. But for the other drop stuff that we got, Trace of Death, Blackstone Weapon, Blackstone Armor, 37 Kafras, 1 Debonek. We got lucky, we got it in like the first 9 minutes and nothing afterwards. And everything was with a 250% drop rate, like the black leaves, 2 of them. So basically, according to Garmot, we made like around 1.2 billion silver with the Baraka necklace value at like 825 million. But there is a certain way that we can make it so it's worth way more than 800 million. So basically, I bought the Baraka necklace, and you can probably do the same because it sells quite well because people just buy the they try to get a pen, it downgrades, and they just rage quit and sell it to try afterwards. So you can basically buy a bunch of tries at around 20 billion silver. And if you just enhance it with the base that you just got with 130 fail stack, which you can see here, you have like around 31% chance to get it. You can try a lower fail stack to get like around 30%, but I prefer the 130 around that. So I get more chances if 0.9% is worth something. So let's try to tap to do the tat. So let's see if we can get it. We got the crowns, we got the fail stack, and we didn't get it. So on average, it takes like 13 necklace to get the tat, but since we bought it to try already, it's like you don't really need a lot of necks, base necks to do it to tet. Of course, some people will be unlucky, some people will be lucky, but always follow the average. And so that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you liked the little guide. Please write in the comment section if it actually helped, and if you want to tell me how much trash loot you got, you can also write it in the comment section. So those kind of video, I will do it like once per week, so you can like know how to grind to the end game spots and if we can make good money. So stay tuned to more of that content on my YouTube channel. Just subscribe if you want, and I'm streaming those hours at my Twitch stream. It's all in the comment section. And so yeah, see you another day. Bye bye, buddies.